Hey everyone, it's Julia Sullivan with Listing Paradise Realty, and I'm coming to you today to kind of give you some more information about what is a contingency. So if you're buying or selling a home, you're going to hear the word contingency. So you want to know kind of what is going on when you hear that word. It's a big word that not a lot of people hear. I know before I got into real estate, I had no idea what a contingency was. So I'm going to kind of go through some information here for you so you can have a little bit more of an idea. So a contingency is an event or condition that must occur before the deal can close. So it must happen before you can go to the closing table, basically. And typically, a buyer will reserve the right to recover the earnest money if the contingency is not satisfied. So if something goes wrong that is covered under the contingency, the buyer can back out. They can get their earnest money back. Only during the contingency period. If they're out of the contingency period, you cannot get that earnest money back. So make sure that you check your contingencies with your real estate agent. And it also protects the buyer. So sellers, buyers are protected. Buyers, you're protected. So here are some of the most common contingencies that you're going to hear. You have financing, inspection, sale, and appraisal. So financing it gives the buyer an opportunity to terminate the deal if a loan is not approved by a certain date. So you have a certain amount of date once you sign a contract to get a loan approval. If your loan is not approved, if you're going financing instead of cash, because cash obviously you don't have financing, but if you go through cash, you have to get a loan approval. If something happens and something falls through and your loan falls through, you can back out during that time period only. Talk to your real estate agent about that time period. You have the inspection, and it gives the buyer the right to inspect the home and negotiate further if there are repair issues. So if you go into a home and you have an inspection go on and something happens where something needs to be fixed and it costs, let's say, $1,000 to fix it. Your buyer does not want to pay for that whole thing. So you contact the seller and ask them if they can help with it. I mean, you kind of go back and forth with the negotiation. And if you guys can come to a mutual agreement, then that's good. You keep on moving. But if you can't, that period right there, your inspection period is a certain amount of days only that you can back out. Make sure you talk to your real estate agent about your inspection contingency. Then you have sale. This basically says if you're selling your home and you're buying another one, so you need the sale of your home to help you buy the new home. So it's contingent upon the buyer selling their current home. So pretty explanatory, I guess. Example, I sold my home to buy another home in August, and so I had my house up for sale, and I used the contract I put, on the contract was contingent upon my home being sold. So if my home wouldn't have sold, I would have had a chance to back out if everything didn't go according to plan. So it protected me as a buyer. And then you have the appraisal, and it's the success of the offer depends on an appraisal confirming that the home's value is equal to or greater than the buyer's offer amount. So a buyer offers $160,000 on a home, appraiser comes in and says the home is appraised at $163,000. That's a check mark. You're good to go. No issues. You pass through appraisal. If you offer $160,000 and the appraiser comes back at $155,000, then you're going to have to go back through negotiation. So hopefully you can come to a mutual agreement and get through that process so you can continue moving on. If you can't come through a mutual agreement, as a buyer, you have an appraisal contingency where you will be able to back out and get your earnest money if something like that happens. But it has to fulfill what the contingency talks about. So best thing from all four of those is to speak to your real estate agent during your contract. As you're going through your contract and signing your contract, ask them what contingencies they have to protect them if something goes wrong. So that's your best bet. Guys, we're here to help you. We're here to, make this process as easy as we can. And, just ask questions. There's no small questions. I would be happy to answer any questions. So if you have any questions at the end of this, you can leave a comment in the box, the box below, whatever it is. And I'll be, happy to answer whatever I can. So this has been Julia Sullivan with Listing Paradise Realty, and I hope you make it a great day.